Hello and welcome to Back to the Feature, the show where we talk about movies past, present, and future. Today we are talking about the present, and we are talking about the new movie Wind River.
Any emergency assistance?
What's your location?
The Wind River Indian Reservation.
Wind River was written and directed by the same writer of Sicario and Hell or High Water from last year, Taylor Sheridan. And if you enjoyed those movies, I think you're definitely going to enjoy Wind River. John, what was your experience like?
I've been waiting for this movie to come to a theater in our town for close to a month now.
Yeah.
I've been seeing people talk about this film. So, I mean, I'm checking the theater like every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, is this coming Friday? When is it
Yeah,
coming?
where we live, it is a lot harder for us to get some of these indie movies in, and it was definitely really exciting when we saw this one came to our local theater. We just jumped on the chance because there's so much positive buzz coming out of a lot of like the festival circuits and stuff like that, that this movie was really something else. And then seeing who was involved: Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, Graham Greene, and then of course Taylor Sheridan writing and directing. Hell or High Water was probably my favorite movie from last year. So hearing all that, I was definitely really interested to see him come back with something else, another original work. So
Yeah, I was really excited. I would have watched anything that Taylor Sheridan put out next. And I actually went into this movie pretty much blind. I don't think I even watched a trailer for it. I was excited for it, but I mean, I'm just like, I already want to watch this. I don't care about a trailer. I just want to like wait for this to get theaters.
You know, and sometimes I think that's the best thing to do, to go in sometimes with just no expectations, never seeing the trailer, just, coming in cold, totally fresh. And I was really satisfied overall with this movie. I think that Hell or High Water brought something to me that I hadn't quite seen before, and we see now in a movie like Logan as well, but this idea of kind of this neo-Western kind of movie where it really has the tropes, elements, and themes that Western movies usually kind of go for. It was really interesting to see it brought into modern times, and seeing the genre actually has viability and still works. You can tell these American stories about more blue-collar people, more real, grounded people, and it really be interesting, engaging, and really just a deep emotional well of stories. So.
Yeah, and I love his incorporation of Native American culture, and I think that's a staple of Western as well. But I love seeing that brought out. You actually get to see kind of that history represented on the screen.
It makes it really pure American storytelling in this really great way in both of his films. Actually, Hell or High Water was supposed to be called Comanchea before. Was actually the original title of more about the Comanche Indian tribe. But this movie actually takes place in Wyoming in the spring, which seems to them be an extended winter. A character in the movie says all there is silence and snow here. And I think that's a great thing about this movie. It's this kind of purveying like ominous personality that kind of paints the whole movie. The kind of treacherousness and the emptiness of Wyoming, which to me is a pretty classic Western setting.
Yeah, I love the setting. I love the tone of this film. It's just, it just kind of puts you in it. And Jeremy Renner gives such an amazing performance, and his character is so interesting. You're learning about this pain from his past. It's very subtle. Yeah, just excellent film.
Yeah, it's maybe less subtle, but more understated performance from him. And it has bigger moments as well, but it's a character that's guarded, that has these deep things inside of him, but can't allow himself to really quite be as open emotionally. And it's just being able to see in the cracks of this character that really draws you in. Jeremy Renner, this is his movie. I think that he's an actor that when he is in the right thing, he really shines. And it's sometimes, for me, it's the small roles with Jeremy Renner that I like the most. I think it's the times where he's gone out to try to be the big blockbuster star that it hasn't quite worked. And I think that's what's hilarious and a little ironic, that now he's Hawkeye. But in this movie, this is his movie. I really love his work in this one, and I think he really shows that he has that really great lead potential and can really carry a film.
Speaking of Avengers, you also get the other one too. Elizabeth Olsen is also in this film, and she gives a really good performance as well.
Yes.
She plays an FBI agent that's like comes to the reservation to investigate the murder. And she's pretty green. She's young, so this is a new experience for her, and just the experience of all the different jurisdiction and all these different things that you have to abide by on reservations, and all these different just really unique storytelling elements.
Yeah, she's definitely the kind of character that's supposed to really represent the audience in this movie.
Yeah.
I think she does a good job with it. I really could have used maybe a little bit more with her, or more of her character, just really understanding a little bit more of her.
Yeah, from like a pen and paper standpoint.
Yeah.
From a writing standpoint. Yeah, I agree as well.
But definitely, we really experienced the movie through her perspective. Like her being a green FBI agent is why she needs to include Jeremy Renner, because he is basically a DNR officer, and he basically is an expert tracker, and she uses him to be able to track these people and uses his expertise of the area and tracking in order to try to figure out what has happened.
This is a great overall principal cast, too. I mean, Gil Birmingham, starting to see him pop up a little bit more. Hopefully a lot more after this, too. Yeah, Hell or High Water he was really good in. And seeing him in this film, too, he gives a very, like, just really memorable and haunting performance. He's not on the screen a lot, but when he is, it's definitely sticks with you.
Yeah, totally. And, of course, there's also one of the most famous and iconic Native American actors of all time, Graham Greene, is also in this movie. And I actually really, really enjoyed the parts we get with him. I'd say he actually is in the movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's always great to see him. I always loved him in Dances with Wolves, so seeing him show up, I didn't know he was in it, because like we said, I didn't really look at any of the trailers. I was already pretty sold on it as soon as I heard what was going on with this movie. So when I saw him, it was such a pleasant surprise, and of course he's great as usual. So John, I mentioned before a little bit about that I felt like maybe a little bit more out of Elizabeth Olsen's character, but was there anything else maybe as negatives for you in Wind River?
Honestly, that's it. I think Elizabeth, if this movie to be taken to like the highest possible level, I think Elizabeth Olsen's character should have been fleshed out a little bit more, maybe a little more background or like why she's there, just anything. Just a little bit more from her. And I think like the scale of the movie too affects it a little bit. It's a smaller study, it's a small crime thriller. And character piece, and I don't know, I don't think it warrants masterpiece level, but I would not put it against you if you chose that.
Yeah, it's only 105 minutes or 107-minute film, so I mean it's not like a very long film. And funnily enough, I actually think Taylor Sheridan should write a novel. Actually, I think that this is one of those. This seems like one of those movies that was like really. It's a good movie, but it was probably like an amazing epic, like not epic, but like an amazing novel. Like it just feels like there's a deeper well you could pull out of that. Like I said, actually, I think this would be great as a novel, and I would actually totally read it.
Actually, all of his writing kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot yet, but like with Sicario and Hell or High Water and all this, it does. They feel like they could be excellent.
There's that depth there. There's that depth, that unspoken depth that he has in a lot of his stuff. That I think that like you sit there and you're watching and you feel like you really could delve deeper into any one of these elements and have it even more fleshed out. So I definitely agree. That was kind of my negative, was that I felt like maybe there could have just been a little bit more to this movie, that it was a little short and it was just kind of a little small. But I think though that it's part of its purpose, and overall it was quite good. So John, all that being said, we've gone over the positives and the negatives. What is your final summary and grade for Wind River?
Taylor Sheridan is shaping up to be one of my favorite filmmakers. It's very early on in his career, but I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom. These are awesome movies. Love everything he's done so far. And I can't wait to see his written picture Soldado coming out, the sequel to Sicario. He's writing that as well, so I'm excited for that. But this is just a great movie. It's really performed well. It's got great cinematography. It's just shot excellently in the mountains of Wyoming, and it really had me on the edge of my seat. I had a lot of anxiety in this film. It really invoked different emotions in me, and that's just a sign of great filmmaking. And it actually has a really good message too, and it kind of really puts that at the end of the film. It just really just hammers home like a deeper theme that's going on in there, or a deeper message that we saw also in Hell or High Water. So he's just a great filmmaker, and this is a great movie. I give Wind River an A.
Yeah, Wind River was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had so far at the theater. It's probably one of my top 10 movies, maybe a little bit out of the gate. I'm a huge crime fan, and it's definitely a great crime movie, but I think Taylor Sheridan is actually doing something extremely special with his last two films. Wind River now being another example of what I'm calling a neo-Western film. He is able to, if you were to put horses and cowboys in this movie, it would fit completely perfectly. It's a movie that you could remake into a classic Western, and you wouldn't even have to really change almost any elements. It could all work the exact same way. He's showing the viability of the Western genre and able to tell great American stories. And I think that Wind River is, I think, the beginning of something really great, and something I'm going to be looking forward to more of these movies from Taylor Sheridan, and I hope that they continue. I'm also going to give Wind River an A. I hope you guys enjoyed our review today of Wind River. Tell us what you guys think in the comments. If you've gotten an opportunity, go see it. If you haven't, please go and see this. It's one of the best movies that has come out so far this year, and it's something original and doesn't have superheroes as much as I love them. It's nice to have a break. So you can get in touch with us on Twitter at BacktoFeature, and you can also find us on our Facebook at /BacktoFeature. I've been Giovanni Carlo.
And I'm John Vanderloo.
And we'll see you guys next time.
This place. What it takes from us. What it took from you.
I got lucky.
Luck lives in the city.
Get your hand off that weapon!
Luck don't live out here.